I couldn't sleep at night because I was so scared. Because at nights, like I feel there's somebody always looking at me, watching me.
And that's when I saw what I saw for the first time in my life was this ghostly apparition of a woman. I was really scared when I was watching her. I was frozen in my bed the entire time.
I'm staying currently in Halifax, and I'm a student in Dalhousie. I grew up in a small town in Malaysia called Ipoh. Throughout my childhood, I've been experiencing something really, really bad, and it has caused really a negative effect on me right now, because like I've become a bit paranoid, like wherever I go.
Some people believe the supernatural world is everywhere. They say children are particularly sensitive to its powers and to its dangers as well. If so, who is to protect them from ghosts and spirits? Hi, I'm Lawrence Chow. Today on Ghostly Encounters, we meet Palini and Kim. They both have stories about children and the ghosts that haunted them. Palini says when she was a young girl, her father discovered a package on their doorstep. It wasn't a gift, but a curse. And from then on, Palini's life was never the same.
What I'm about to describe is something called sevene. It's in a term, it's something like black magic, only thing it's in Tamil term. And it's something where other people do it on you, like they do black magic on you. And mine was done by actually a far relative. And it actually started when I was 7 years old. Everything started when one morning my dad actually found like a rotten egg and lime lying in front of our house. Well, for us Hindus, we believe that rotten eggs and limes are a symbol of black magic and evil. Lime is actually a type of fruit that is used for both in prayers and for good and evil. A rotten egg especially symbolizes that something bad has entered the house. The curse was by introducing the spirit into the house and making the spirit do things to our family to produce chaos within the family. I was actually there that morning and I saw the lime and the egg. My mom was actually kind of scared. She was like, don't touch that stuff. And I also still remember very clearly
It was my daughter's birthday. My husband and I gave her 2 helium-filled balloons, cellophane balloons. One was a happy face, and I really can't tell you what the other one was because it doesn't stick in my mind like that happy face balloon does. We were playing with her balloons, and they had ribbons hanging from them, and she was running around playing them, letting them go, watching them go back up to the ceiling. And when it was time to go to bed, she wanted to take the balloons upstairs with her. But because of the ribbons, I said, no, you can't. So she threw a little hissy fit, and I ended up carrying her over my shoulder up to bed the whole time, listening to her scream out for her balloons, that she wanted her balloons. When I put her to bed, she didn't go to bed right away. She had to whimper, I want my balloons. Finally, she fell asleep, and I went to bed shortly after that. And the next morning I woke up, and her room is directly in front of my door, and I looked out, and the happy face balloon was floating midway between ceiling and floor directly in front of her room. And what shocked me and scared me the most is the journey that that balloon would have had to take. There was absolutely no way physically possible that that balloon floated there on its own. I went out and I grabbed it by its ribbons and gave it a tug, and I released it, and it went directly up to the ceiling where it stuck. I don't know how it got there. I just know I didn't take it there. My husband was out of town, and my daughter was in her room behind her baby gate, so she didn't get it. I think the fact that the balloon was a smiley face made it even creepier to me, just because it was smiling. It was as if it was smiling at me. I didn't know what to think. It was one of the scariest things that happened to me. After that, little things would happen. You'd get feelings, senses. You know how you can sense there's somebody in a room even though you don't turn and see them there? We just get feelings. Nothing was ever really concrete until I was sound asleep in bed. It was, I don't know what time in the morning, but it was the middle of the night, and I just woke up. And I don't know why I woke up. I was kind of wondering, you know, what could have woken me. I was listening for my kids to hear if maybe one of them had called out to me. And when I looked out, I saw this rocking chair that we had, and it was rocking. And I didn't really jump to any conclusions. I just figured, well, the cat probably jumped down off the window onto the rocking chair, and that's why it was rocking. So I rolled over to go back to bed, and it was then that I realized that the cat was sound asleep right between my feet at the end of the bed. So then I realized, well, the cat couldn't have jumped down, and I looked back out, and that's when I saw what I saw for the first time in my life was this ghostly apparition of a woman. And she was just rocking back and forth. She didn't have any expression. She was just deadpan. She was just looking at me. I was really scared when I was watching her. I don't know how much time passed, but then she rose out of her chair and went directly over my left shoulder through my wall into my neighbor's house. I was frozen in my bed the entire time, and probably for a little time after that. I don't know. I really have no concept of how much time had passed because I wasn't looking at the clock, but it seemed like it lasted so long. 2 months after I saw the woman, my daughter had come into our room. She was sleeping between us. I woke up the next morning and found her squished all the way down underneath the comforter so that she was like in the middle of the bed. So I kind of pulled the covers back and I asked her what she was doing down there, and she burst into tears. She was so scared. She says, "Mommy," she said, "I was scared." I said, "Well, what were you scared of? You're sleeping with us." And she said, "I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw a lady walk through Daddy's dresser." We talked about what she'd seen, and she described exactly the same thing that I had seen. As a mom, it bothers me a lot, but I know that nothing's bad is going to happen to her. Nothing bad has happened in the house. I said to her, I said, everything that happens has been helpful. You know, nobody's trying to scare you. I did have a word with the ghost because I've heard that if you ask them not to show themselves, they won't. She hasn't visibly seen the woman ever since then. There hasn't been another occurrence of that, but she senses things all the time. And you can tell because she gets nervous. She'll get a little antsy. It worries me that she's so scared, so I'm trying to psychologically alleviate it. So I took her downtown 2 weekends ago and I bought her a necklace. I said that it would protect her from the spirits, just to give her a little peace of mind when she was in the house. And she's been wearing it ever since. I think it actually has helped her because although she still won't go anywhere in the house alone, she's not as nervous as she used to be. She's getting to be a little bit more independent. I think the necklace is giving her peace of mind.
Our experts tell us that amulets, objects worn on the body to protect against misfortune and evil, have been used throughout history. Both Palini's bracelet and Kim's necklace are amulets, but there the similarity ends, for Palini's bracelet has religious power, while Kim's necklace comes from a local store. In Eastern cultures, the psychological dimension is part of the spiritual. In the West, psychology and religion have been separated. So Kim did not draw upon a religious tradition, but found a simple object and told her daughter that it would protect her. The effect was positive, but purely psychological. Whatever the source of an amulet's power, from a mother's perspective, it really doesn't matter, as long as it works and her daughter is happy and safe.
Everything stopped as soon as I had this on, and I felt really, really good. And family-wise, like we've become closer, especially if we feel something is wrong. I can openly speak to my parents about this because I know, after we've been through that, they would understand.
I try to protect her. I try to make her feel at ease. It's been a very long journey with her because sometimes it's trying, like that she's afraid. So now that she's starting to not be so afraid, it is a big relief because we're getting concerned that she was never going to get over what she had seen.